I was born to explore. For myself, exploration, I think it's about curiosity. As a kid, I had a telescope, and I remember the first time I saw the rings of Saturn. I've been chasing that inspiration ever since. And that's really how it is. Once you're on fire, that's all it takes. We relate to exploring as climbing a mountain and so forth, but of course, exploration is much faster than that. The art of exploring is the ultimate human trait, I think, of the human mind, the human being. Exploring that curiosity, and in the end, I think you're discovering something about yourself. There's this idea that you need all this equipment, but it's basically put your boots on and go. You have to just do it. The Trans-Antarctica expedition was the first dog sled crossing of Antarctica. We were an international team from 6 different countries. We chose the longest possible route, which was 3,700 miles. It was a route that I don't think was ever considered or even imagined. The goal was to organize an incredible expedition that would draw world attention to the preservation of Antarctica, because behind closed doors, the Antarctic Treaty, which protects the continent, was up for review, and any country could go down there and start digging in the ground for minerals. But because of the global attention that this expedition drew, we were able to change the minds of 27 world leaders, and we ended up putting Antarctica aside for preservation. The interior of Antarctica is just a horrible, horrible place. We had temperatures, 50 below and the 70-mile-an-hour winds. I don't think human beings have ever lived to talk about these conditions. We were vulnerable because we were moving all the time, but when you're moving, you're dressed real lightly. So as soon as you stop, the cold penetrates right to your body. It immediately wants to snuff out your temperature. A lot of times I was on that very threshold of not knowing if this was the end. I mean, could a human being even survive? In these conditions, the jacket was always stored in a certain spot on the sled. It was definitely comfort in that it gave you life. And it was always there for you, and all you had to do is get to it and put it on. So it was a security, and since it was so thick and well designed, it was extremely effective. The flags on the jacket, to me, is very powerful. When I see the 6 flags from that expedition together, I think of the brotherhood and the unity, people coming together, and that gives me lots of faith. We had a saying between us, 6 of us. If we were one straw, we would get blown over by the winds in Antarctica, but with 6, we stuck together and we were strong. We all saw it was bigger than ourselves. We all saw it was a piece of history, and it was this collective goal. The jacket is symbolic of that expedition. It was that international cooperation that basically preserved Antarctica. And it's that same cooperation now that we need on the crisis with climate. We challenged mountains and we crossed Antarctica and we did these incredible feats. But the new generation has a different challenge. We have some major problems in society and the environment to deal with, and it's all interrelated. It takes that spirit of solving something, of cooperation, bringing people together, scientists, educators, younger people, and collectively working on this and seeing success moving forward. That's the human spirit.